News at 5.
Good evening. We begin tonight with Gary Locke.
And the FBI says he got pretty close to his goal. King 5's Darren Watkins is live in Olympia with more on the plan that's been unraveled for us today. Darren.
That's right. Investigators aren't talking much about this case, but court documents that were released today are saying plenty. They describe how the suspect, 43-year-old James Braley of Olympia, plotted to kill Governor Gary Locke. Even allegations he practiced sneaking weapons and even explosives inside the Capitol. What's his motivation? It's said to be a belief that our state's government is acting illegally. The suspect is James Braley, a former sergeant in the National Guard and a former member of the Jural Society, an organization that does not believe in the state or federal government. Federal agents say James Braley even went so far as to practice his assassination attempt by going through what he called a dry run here at the Capitol building. Heavily armed, the FBI says Braley walked right in with a rifle, 2 handguns, and a military explosive hidden under his coat, getting close enough to see the Governor Gary Locke in person, telling friends the time was not right for the shooting.
Never said anything to me, very, very quiet.
Family members say Braley lived in this small trailer in the back of his parents' home. Neighbors knew there was trouble when dozens of federal agents surrounded the house.
Well, I just knew that something was serious going on because there was no Olympia police, there was no county, it was ATF, FBI, and the Special Unit of the State Patrol.
That's basically what it is. He's upset with the unlawful government.
Braley's uncle says James often talked of getting 50 men to take the legislature hostage to expose what he saw as an unconstitutional government.
That he wanted to get you people to talk to him, okay? And he couldn't get nobody's attention to tell what he knew about the law and how our own state and how the federal government's violating our constitutional rights.
Now, we spoke with Braley's direct family members who tell us James was estranged for years. His brother says, quote, "We condemn his actions if the allegations are true." The Washington State Patrol is in charge of security for the governor. Now, they won't talk with us today, but sources are telling us they weren't even aware of these alleged plots until they heard about it from an FBI case. Braley himself is being held on a federal weapons charge that he is a convicted criminal in possession of firearms. The U.S. Attorney will now decide whether or not any other charges will be filed in these allegations that he plotted to kill Governor Gary Locke. In Olympia, I'm Darren Watkins, King 5 News.
Thank you, Darren. That man's arrest brings to mind a past threat on the governor's life. 5 years ago, a woman walked up to the reception area near Mr. Locke's office and demanded to see him and put a bag of knives on the desk. She threatened to kill Governor Locke and his staff. State troopers took her in for a mental evaluation. Not long afterward, a judge ordered her to stay away from Governor Locke, his family, and his staff. Now to
Lamar, suspected of plotting to assassinate Governor Gary Locke. South Bureau Chief Richard Thompson is investigating this disturbing case and has uncovered details of the alleged plot. He joins us live from the state capitol with details. Richard?
Well, according to these court documents obtained by Cairo 7 Eyewitness News, the man intended to assassinate Governor Locke, and he had even made it inside the Capitol building with several handguns to test his plan.
It scares me. It really scares me.
People in this quiet neighborhood near Olympia can't believe their neighbor is suspected of plotting to assassinate Governor Gary Locke.
Well, it's really sad and it scares the heck out of you.
Federal agents say the suspect, James Braley, is a constitutionalist who does not believe he is bound by state or federal laws. A confidential source told federal agents Braley hates Governor Locke because he believes he, Braley, is the only true governor of the state. The confidential informant claims Braley also hates the governor because he is Chinese. According to federal agents, Braley had made several dry runs to the Capitol, planning the assassination. According to the federal source, Braley brought 2 handguns into the Capitol and claims to have seen the governor at a distance. Informants also told investigators they had been to Braley's home and seen a fully automatic submachine gun, and that Braley claimed to have access to military Claymore mines.
He's no assassin. He's got a screw loose. He shouldn't have a gun.
Braley's uncle, Elijah Gwynn, says he shares many of his nephew's anti-government beliefs. But he does not believe Braley intended to kill the governor. He says he had another plan.
If he could get 50 men together that he could train, he was planning on trying to get the media's attention by going up there and capturing the legislature while they were in session.
Now, we do need to stress at this point that for now, Braley is only in custody on firearms violations, but federal agents tell me the investigation into the assassination plot continues. Reporting live in Olympia, I'm South Sound Bureau Chief Richard Thompson, Cairo 7 Eyewitness News.
And we've uncovered a few more details tonight. According to confidential informants, Braley believed he could carry out the assassination with 2 or 3 trusted associates. Sources tell federal agents Braley planned to use mines to blow up a wall or take out a large number of people at the state capitol building. He has several prior arrests, including domestic violence and assaulting a Lacey police officer.
New details now on the breaking news we brought you at the top of the hour.
Against Governor Gary Locke. James Braley Jr. of Olympia has been under investigation since March. Yesterday he was arrested on firearms violations. An informant told police of Braley's plot to kill the governor. He claims 4 years ago Braley did a dry run at the Capitol in preparation for his assassination plot. While there, he says he saw the governor and he was armed at the time with a rifle, a .45, and a revolver. Braley was arrested at this trailer home. Neighbors say they saw a lot of late-night activity there, but Braley kept to himself.
I've only seen him twice, and he was kind of a strange-looking fellow, and he basically never talked to me. He just kind of nodded at me once, and he was a real secretive, seclusive type of a guy.
For his part, the governor kept his normal schedule today. Neither Governor Locke nor State Patrol will comment on the governor's security.
An Auburn woman will stand trial for the plot to assassinate Governor Gary Locke. Agents say a man named James Braley practiced his assassination attempt at the Capitol building, walked into the building with weapons and an explosive hidden under his coat. He even got close enough to see the governor in person. Family members say Braley doesn't believe in the state or federal government.
And he couldn't get nobody's attention to tell what he knew about the law and how our own state and how the federal government's violating our constitutional rights.
Braley was arrested for unrelated gun charges. He has not been charged in connection with the alleged plot to kill the governor. Investigators are on the scene in Everett right now, trying to figure out how this plane took a nosedive into the ground.
Say James Braley practiced his assassination attempt at the Capitol building. He walked into the Capitol with weapons and an explosive hidden under his coat, and even got close enough to see the governor in person. Braley was arrested for unrelated gun charges. He has not been charged in connection with the alleged plot.
This man in jail accused of plotting to assassinate Governor Gary Locke. Plot to assassinate Governor Gary Locke. FBI agents say James Braley planned to go to the state capitol armed with guns to hunt down the governor. Tonight, KOMO 4's Leslie Knott talked with one of Braley's family members about this alleged plan. Leslie?
Well, Kathy, Braley's uncle tells me Braley had a plan to disrupt the state legislature, but investigators claim it went beyond that. Court documents say Braley believes he's the true governor and that he hates Governor Locke. Agents claim that's the motive behind an alleged plan to assassinate the governor.
He wouldn't have been dumb enough to take arms and explosives up there. That's ludicrous.
James Braley's uncle spoke out tonight. Certain federal agents are wrong about Braley's alleged plan. Investigators say Braley planned to sneak into the state capitol with guns, track down the governor, and kill him. KOMO 4 News has court documents that say 2 informants told agents in 1998 Braley did a dry run. They say he was able to enter the Capitol building and actually saw Governor Locke at a distance. One of the informants stated that Braley made his dry run in preparation of Governor Locke. He allegedly had a rifle under his coat, a .45 pistol in his waistband, a .38 revolver on his ankle, and had access to 2 Claymore mines. Last spring, the informants told investigators Braley was stockpiling weapons at his house and trailer north of Olympia. This week, they arrested him on firearms violations. Neighbors say Braley kept to himself.
I've only seen him twice, and he was kind of a strange-looking fellow, and he basically never talked to me. He just kind of nodded at me once, and he was a real secretive, seclusive type of a guy.
We know that Braley was once a member of an extreme right-wing group called the Jural Society that doesn't believe in state or federal government. At one point, the Jural Society voted him governor of Washington. His family isn't sure what to make of the charges.
If they are true, we strongly condemn it. We don't agree with, and I'm speaking probably most likely on behalf of my family, my mother and sisters and things like that. We would strongly condemn him for those actions if in fact they are true.
His uncle goes even further than that.
I'm just saying that these particular charges are ridiculous. Jimmy wouldn't do something that stupid. He's not that stupid.
Now, the governor's office would not talk about Braley's alleged plan or his arrest. Governor Locke kept to his normal schedule today, working in his office near the Capitol. Kathy?
All right, thank you, Leslie.
That decision. That is left.